Hello, 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 and welcome to another extremely exciting edition of Q&A with Doug Walker, the man behind the malt whiskey shirt.
I love this shirt,
It's
and
a
you can
great
tell
shirt.
you can tell it's Scottish. As somebody pointed out, I said, "I bet that's Scottish." It was either Scottish or Irish. I can't remember. And I said, "Yeah, how'd you know? Because there's no e
In
in
whiskey.
whiskey." Yeah,
hmm
I said, that's very observant.
Yeah, that's very observant. That is.
Yeah,
Yeah. After you mention it, now I see it, but I wouldn't have noticed
yeah.
without that, you know?
I did get in Scotland after because we went to many a distillery, and I saw that shirt at the airport. I'm like, I am getting that as one of my new favorite shirts.
Yeah, it's amazing. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome to Q&A chatting with Doug here. We're going to get to the rules because I see over on Twitch we already have a level 5 hype train and some of the super chats are just pouring in over on YouTube. We are dual streaming on both Twitch and YouTube at the same time here. So let's get started with the rules. First and foremost, we give priority to the bit messages and the super chats since that is some real world money spent. Towards the end of stream, we might be able to answer some highlighted questions over on Twitch or just some regular chat questions over on YouTube, but we prioritize the bits and the super chats first. Please do not repeat yourself over and over again in chat. You can get timed out or even banned if you're going to continuously do that. Please keep your bit messages short and your super chat, sorry, your questions, comments, whatever in general, short and to the point. If it's too long, sometimes we just don't have time to go back and figure out what you were talking about. So I got to read it fast. Short and to the point is better. Along those same lines, if you absolutely must break your question or comment up into multiple parts, keep it to 3 parts absolute maximum, okay? Again, otherwise you just tend to lose the point, same kind of a thing, and don't have time to figure out what you were talking about in part 5. Also, please keep it to 1 question per bit message or super chat. Sometimes people try to list off 4 or 5, and that just doesn't seem fair, all right? We're trying to actually get to some of the questions that people don't have to pay for, okay? Over on YouTube, we give priority to super chats that are $5 and above. We just have a large volume of questions and comments coming in, so we're gonna prioritize those.
Big shit.
Ooh, I haven't heard that alert in a while. We're gonna prioritize those $5 and up super chats first. Again, if we have time, we'll scroll back down and look at some of the ones that were less than $5, but we cannot guarantee that that is going to happen. No spoilers, please, about the latest and the greatest shows, movies. I don't even know what there is out there to be spoiled.
The
at this
Crow!
point.
We said last time, The Crow! Don't spoil The
You're right.
Crow!
Well, wait.
People have to discover how bad it is.
Only Murders in the Building did premiere tonight, so
okay.
that could be spoiled. Don't spoil.
I mean, what's this, season 4? If they haven't found the murderer yet, I mean, I don't know if they're gonna.
Great, Doug, great. I think that's it. I feel like I'm missing something, but I don't think I am.
I think we're good. We're good.
Great. Let's do it. Robert, thank you for the $5 super chat. Has there ever been a movie you leave on as background noise while working? For me, it's Down Periscope, Kelsey Grammer sub movie. You should review it.
I remember being all right. I don't know if I could get much material out of it. So when I get the fatigue really bad, it's been hitting me a lot this week. But the week before, I had a really great week, so that's good. Or the week prior, actually. But for whatever reason, what really relaxes me, and I kind of hinted at this in the first commercial special, I do like watching old nostalgia commercials. I don't know why I can sleep through them. They bring back these happy, dumb memories, and when I get in kind of that loopy mindset, it kind of reminds me of when I was that age, and sometimes I'll see like a commercial and be like, oh, that's when I first heard that term, or that's when I was introduced to this, kind of thing. So that's kind of neat. But no, when I'm working, it has to be full, just focusing on the work because I get distracted too easily.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. The first episode of Only Murder Season 4 just dropped. Heather, have you watched it yet? And if so, your thoughts? I have not yet. I'll get there, but I haven't yet.
Have you watched the other 3 seasons?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I've only seen season 1, so they are worth. I guess I'm hearing they're worth keeping up with.
I enjoy it.
Good, correct.
All
right, I should sit down and try watching those again.
Nerdy, thank you for the 500 bits. NC review on Darkman.
I have it on the list. I don't know when I'll get to it. It's always one of those where I'm like, will it do well? Will it not do well? I'm not sure, but I do want to talk about it because it's a lot of fun.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. What are your thoughts on the film The Lake House? I recently watched it and enjoyed it more than I was expecting to, especially based on the critical reception.
Is that the Keanu Reeves one?
I don't know.
On The Lake House. Let's see. Yes. I did like, that was one of the, no, not that one. The Gift was the first movie where I started to say, oh, maybe Keanu Reeves could be pretty good. And then that was another movie where I'm like, all right, he's pretty good in this. I liked it. I could predict kind of what the ending is, except for the cop-out part, and it is a cop-out. It's a major cop-out. But I thought everything else really worked. I thought it was a cool idea. I thought it was very romantic. I thought the performances were good. So, yeah, for the most part, I did enjoy it, even though the ending does go insultingly traditional rom-com, and that's kind of a shame.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Why, who done it? You want a Bug's Life 2? I'm curious where those characters are now.
I don't know. I don't know how long bugs live. I don't think very long, so probably dead.
Ooh, Jeremiah, thank you for the 500 bits. Hi, Doug and Heather. That opening skit from today's review was so hilarious.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun to shoot.
Oi Ramp, thank you for the 500 bits. Hey, Doug, I was thinking about, is it best to not be super excited about something and just be like, oh, it's a fine movie or show? I was thinking you might have liked Totoro better if you did not hear the hype first.
Maybe. I kind of remember seeing it advertised when I was younger. And I think it's the same thing. I think as soon as you see that cat bus, I don't know. I was just like, what magical world are we going to go to? And we never do. But it's still good. It's a good movie. And I kind of like it's more laid back. But I think because you do see more of what Miyazaki could give with these magical worlds and everything, how can you not be like, man, where do these things come from? I want to see those worlds. But and then answer to your question, I think either works. I mean, yeah, we've always heard overhyped and let down and too much build up and hype and everything, but there's a great fun to that as well. I usually try not to get too overhyped for something nowadays, but at the same time, once in a while I do, and it's really fun. I still like to watch like really good trailers to bad movies sometimes, just because I remember how good the hype was for it.
At Movies, thank you for the 500 bits. Oh boy, okay. Befriend, marry, dump, adopt.
Good Lord. Okay.
I don't know if we're going to be able to keep all these straight. Befriend, marry, dump, adopt. Jennifer Garner as Elektra, Jessica Alba as Sue Storm, Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, or Dakota Johnson as Madam Web.
I was
none of them particularly. What was it? Befriend, marry, adopt, and what was the other one?
Dump.
Dump? Maybe dump Invisible Woman. She's probably the weakest out of them. I guess adopt Captain Marvel, because I've seen her good in other movies. I feel we could train her to be a good actress with the superhero thing. We can do that. Befriend Elektra, I guess. And who is the other one?
Mary would be Dakota Johnson, Madam Web.
You know what? Yeah, because she's a barrel of laughs, man. Either as a character or just as her promoting the movie. That's a barrel of laughs.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. How would you rank the finales of these Disney shows? Gravity Falls, DuckTales reboots, Amphibia, and Owl House.
Probably, man, it's like a tie between... Okay, Gravity Falls is probably...
Uh-oh. Doug. Douglas, come back. We're all scared. Doug, please. Oh, no. Doug. He's not coming back. He is coming back. He's thinking. He's just thinking. This is fine. He's just thinking. Everything's great.
Hey,
there
okay.
you
All
are.
right. I was like, that went longer than usual.
That did. That went longer than usual.
Yeah. Ooh. All right. Have to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Did you hear the list or no?
No, we heard something about Gravity Falls and then you cut out.
Okay. Gravity Falls, then DuckTales, really, really close. Then Amphibia and Owl House. That should be good.
Great. Majestic Demon, thank you for the 500 bits. Good evening, A Doug's Life. By the way, you really should watch a video that talks about Shadow's backstory because that papa is Professor Gerald Robotnik. He's the man responsible for creating Shadow. On top of that, I mean, let's not get too deep into the Sonic lore if Doug doesn't know it. You know, there was more, and I'm gonna say maybe let's not get too deep into it.
I mean, granted, they do change a lot in the movies, but yeah, I kind of want to be surprised. Yeah, I'll be surprised. Just seeing that other Jim Carrey Robotnik, it was pretty funny. So yeah, I do kind of want to. I want to wait. I'm with you, Heather. I'll wait. But yes, I am excited. I thought the trailer looked like a lot of fun.
Tiffio, thank you for the $2 super chat. Jace, thank you for the $10 super chat. Help me remember, which review had you measuring the viewer/kid's intelligence from working at Subway to drinking paint, then finally eating its own brain and saying the phrase, climb the ladder?
Oh, well, seeing how I remember all 17 years of reviews I've done, every line, every scene, I have no idea. It sounds funny.
Chase, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you or will you see the 15-year anniversary screening of Coraline? The 3D surprisingly holds up well, and I've discovered something new.
I thought it was gone, but maybe it's still going. I always thought it was one day, and then I was hearing now, it was one weekend. Now I'm hearing it's 1 week. So yeah, I gotta look this up because we did see it on the big screen in 3D originally, and it is very good in 3D. I mean, it's already a good movie, but 3D, it's really, really great. So I'll see if it's still showing. Maybe this weekend. Yeah, maybe I'll check it out again.
James, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hello, Doug. First, I'm surprised you didn't bring up how the film is another telling of Magnificent Seven.
What, Bug's Life? I'm assuming.
I'm assuming.
I mean, it's kind of a classic trope. It's kind of like bringing up all the other live reveal stories that have done this before. It's just kind of a classic trope.
Jace, thank you for the $10 super chat. Remember when Wyborn said his grandma doesn't rent the place out to anyone with kids? What if, to secure staying there, her parents never told the landlord about Coraline at all? That's pretty messed up.
I didn't remember. So you did, so I don't have to. It's a nice flip. So there you go.
Dylan, thank you for the $5 super chat. Kill, marry, F. Stallone, Schwarzenegger, Seagal.
Well, we know who to kill, don't we? Yeah, Seagal. Let's see. I marry Schwarzenegger and I F Stallone because you know what? I was gonna say I gotta know, but then again, there is technically a movie on there with the Italian Stallion, so you know what? I'll switch it around.
AF Watcher, thank you for the $2 super chat. Ymir, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug and Heather, who would you say is the most stereotypically Chicago person you know or can think, famous or otherwise? My grandma Roos. She's Southside Chicago Irish. She's Chicago true, or not Irish. Wow, Italian. Heather, you know what you are. Italian. She is a very stereotypical.
Irish Italian. It's just something begins with an I. The one that's coming to my head is my cousin who I don't know how to say it. He's very smooth Chicago. He's got kind of this accent going. He kind of sounds like Dante Bosco a little bit, but he's got a little bit just got the Chicago accent going on. He's just very smooth. He's very smooth. Like he's just like when I think of everyone knows, the big chubby Midwestern, Chicago, Dump Bears, all that. But when I think of smooth Chicago, like I think of my cousin. Yeah, that's usually what I think of.
Jace, thank you for the $10 super chat. I'll super chat $20 to see you react right now to the guy in the Beta Force SNL skit that looks exactly like your Shadow Ray ad from Coraline review. Skip to the 43-second mark, then watch and listen for 7 seconds. I'm actually gonna say no. We can't start this request of if
That's
I give
a
you
good
$20,
point.
will you watch this? We can't start that because we'll never stop.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, that at first I was about
precedent.
to, and now I'm just like, you know what? That is opening the floodgates, isn't it? But
It is.
I'll say this. I'll write it down to watch another. What was it again?
The Beta Force SNL skit.
Beta Force SNL. And what's the time code?
43 seconds.
43 cents. Okay. I will watch it another time. Yeah, just won't be able to do it this time.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Great review tonight, guys. Did you know the voice of Manny the Praying Mantis also played Dr. Smith in Lost in Space? Hence the pain joke.
Yeah, I was debating whether or not to bring that up to mention his name out there, but I guess some of the guys that made Freakazoid it kind of mentioned that he was always a little pissed off that he wasn't really a name, kind of thing. So there was a part of me I was like, maybe I should stick to tradition and just not say who he was. But thinking about it, I should. I didn't name everybody, but I was listing all these names of like funny people in it, and I think that's another thing too. I was like, I think he's funny, but I don't know. I think I've heard him funny in other stuff. I didn't know whether to throw him in with like, Madeline Kahn and all these other like great comedic talents, so I kept him out.
Crass, thank you for the $5 super chat. Did you know the writer of the Rocky and Bullwinkle movie also used to write on Doug? That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
I actually thought the movie was kind of all right. Surprisingly, I was really going in ready to dislike it, but I thought it was self-aware in a way that kind of surprised me. It's I don't know if the whole thing worked as a whole. I'd have to see it again, but I do remember a lot of jokes like surprisingly making me giggle. Like, all right, this actually like it's faithful to Rocky Bullwinkle while also being aware. Like, yeah, some of it was pretty lame. Like, I thought it was more clever than it was.
Prowl, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hello, Mr. Walker. My question is that do you ever plan on reviewing Steven Spielberg's masterpiece E.T., which to me is one nostalgic movie, at least from my childhood?
Maybe only because I like the movie. It's a very good movie. I'm not going to diss it, but it never really connected with me. And I think it's interesting when people talk about nostalgia in 80s and stuff like that. They don't bring up E.T. that much, and it's fascinating because for the longest time, it was like one of the highest grossing movies. It's like the number 2 or 3 highest grossing movie like for years, but nobody really brings it up that much. Maybe it's one of those things where it kind of became like too much of a big thing, or maybe it's kind of like the Avatar movies where it's like, oh yeah, people like to see it, and then they kind of, just left it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Maybe there is something to talk about with that. There might be an idea. I'll write that down because this conversation alone is kind of interesting.
It's one of my favorite movies when I was a kid. I watched E.T. until the VHS tape wore out.
No, and that's the thing. The ones that did connect with obviously really connected with, because again, one of the highest grossing movies ever, and there was merchandise all over the place and stuff like that. But I mean, I don't hear it. I mean, do you hear it talked about much
Not
now?
too much,
Like,
no.
yeah, when people talk about like 80s nostalgia and everything. So, and it is good. It's a good movie, but yeah, I don't know. There is an interesting conversation there, and maybe I will do it.
Ben, thank you for the $10 super chat. I recently watched the Jason Bourne films and Hunger Games films and part of the first John Wick. I was wondering if you would do an NC theme month on any of these franchises in the near future.
Those are all movies I like. I don't love, so to do a theme month to them, I think I don't know if that would really. I don't think the passion for it would run that long. I mean, they are interesting films to talk about, but I think you need someone that's legit really passionate about it to discuss and stuff. Someone that likes them,
Sailor Aaron, thank you for that 39-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome back. Appreciate that.
You.
Woohoo! 39 months with Channel Awesome. Also loved the video, Doug. I do have a soft spot for A Bug's Life, one of my very first movie theater experiences. I even have a picture of 3-year-old me for Halloween that year when I dressed up as Princess Ada.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, no, when it came out, people liked it, but that's always what I hear. Like, it's fine. And again, I think a lot of that is because of the circus bugs and the villain. I feel like if they weren't in there, I don't know how many people would get into that movie.
Ooh, Jeremiah, thank you for the 500 bits. Why the thumbnails of your new Nostalgia Critic reviews keep changing?
So, as part of this A/B testing that we do with different
Yeah.
types of thumbnails, and on top of that, when you switch them out, it does increase it going up in the algorithm for whatever reason. So we do test them. We try to do one where there's usually Rob will do one that's a lot more busy, and then I'll do one that's a little bit more straightforward. And then whichever ones tend to get more views by whatever percentage, we just stick with that usually. So yeah, we just try it out.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. What are your thoughts on the Bogart film, The Treasure of the Sierra Madre?
You know, I've actually never seen that one, and I know it's like this big classic movie, and I kind of know the story. I know like some famous tropes kind of came from that story, but yeah, I never have seen it. That isn't one of those I should write down to watch because again, it's supposed to be a classic.
Oi Ram, thank you for the 500 bits. Hey Doug, hypothetical question since I know the Japanese copyright issues and all, but if you were able, would you do an NC on Akira?
Probably. Though on top of that, with the gore on YouTube and them always cracking down on that too, that would be equally tricky. But I mean, there's enough in there that you can talk about outside of that. And yeah, I really like it. It is one of the earlier anime films I got into. And man, what a film to kind of introduce you to that. So yeah, no, anyone that hasn't seen it, it's worth it. It's really something.
Crass, thank you for the $2 super chat. James, thank you for the $10 super chat. I brought up the less extremely goofy fanscription idea last week because I figured you and your team would be able to put something together better than I could.
Oh, well, thank you. We'll see if maybe we can do that.
Small Movie World, thank you for the 1,500 bits. Really appreciate that. Thank
you.
you. I'm attending Comic-Con Scotland in October for the first time ever, not only meeting a childhood cinematic hero of mine, Samwise Gamgee himself, Sean Astin, but also, and I know you'll appreciate this, the entire cast of Red Dwarf. I shall smoke myself a kipper to celebrate.
Oh, that's so cool. That's cool. They're all going to be there. That's really
cool.
awesome. And Rob actually, because he was a big Sean Astin fan too. He loved Samwise was always like his favorite character from Lord of the Rings. He loved the way he played him. So yeah, well, we met him at a con just in the green room and chat with him a little bit. And he's a real sweet guy. You're gonna like him a lot.
On a Joker, thank you for the 500 bits. I wanted to circle back about you possibly reviewing Once Bitten with Jim Carrey. Maybe even pair it with Rubberface?
I'm not, I've actually never seen Rubberface. I know that's like a film he did or something he did. Once Bitten might be I forget if I have that on the list. I think I do, just in case I'll write it down. I might have it down for Nostalgia Weem, but that's one of those where I can just see it like either doing really well or just nothing. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this Jim Carrey movie I never heard of. Like, that's either going to get a lot of people on it or it's going to die. So I'll put down the list if I don't have it.
CD-ROM, thank you for the 500 bits. Evening, Doug and Heather. Have either of you heard of any of the Disney pop punk covers yet? I can't stop listening to Magnolia Park's Eye to Eye. I get served them a lot on TikTok as an ad. They know I'm a millennial, so they're like, hey, millennial, would you like to hear some classic Disney songs, but in that emo pop punk that you grew up with?
Okay. Oh, and that's like the first thing that pops up when I type Disney punk is that was it Magnolia Park? Was that the yeah, that's like the first thing that pops up. That's pretty funny. No, I haven't. I will try to check those out.
Small Movie World, thank you for the 500 bits. Do you remember what happened after you drunk first viewings of Green Lantern / Kangaroo Jack? How did you guys sober up and how did your wives react?
I remember exactly what happened. Rob put me to bed because I really was. So I think Rob was only kind of half drinking, like he was only kind of doing a half sip. I was really legit drinking it. I cut down what we were saying at the end, like our sum up at the end, because I think I repeated myself like 2 or 3 times. And Rob was like, oh, this isn't an act. He's really drunk. So, yeah, I mean, but we're both pretty good at holding quite a bit. Well, we were. I don't know about now. We both had to cut back. But, yeah, that was definitely Rob just put me to bed before he left. And, yeah, I woke up with quite the headache.
Captain Cat, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hi, Doug. Could you please review Bratz the movie? I promise you'll hate it.
I believe you. Maybe that's another one where I'm like, does that have a following? I don't know. I'll
Maybe.
put it down as a possibility. The only thing is, I know it's live action, and part of what made those dolls so fascinating was how eerie and gross they were. Everyone, like, all the kids loved it, and all the adults were like, ugh. Just all like the lip gloss and everything, the huge eyelashes and the sparkles, just like, ugh, like, and they were supposed to be like little kids. It was just, yeah, really gross. So, I just. What is in the movie? The more I think about it, and I'm not feeling dirty watching the movie, but we'll see.
Chase, thank you for the $10 super chat. How about reviewing And Then There Was Sean for Nostalgiaween? It's a celebration of horror movie tropes, and the depressing, self-reflecting surprise ending only gets sadder with the angelic choir music.
Huh. I never even heard that one. And Then There Was Sean.
Yep.
I don't know if I'll review it as NC, but I might just watch it just on its own because it sounds like an interesting idea.
Dylan, thank you for the $5 super chat. Top 3 Schwarzenegger movies.
Man, Terminator 2's got to be up there. I mean, do I do like Predator and stuff? Let me see. I feel like Arnold Schwarzenegger. No doubt gonna spell the name wrong, and I did. I'm trying to see what. I do really like True Lies a lot. That's really, really good. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like, like I'm trying to think of that one where it's like, like the underrated one, kind of thing. And yeah, I think those are kind of it, though. Yeah, probably Terminator 2, True Lies, and Predator. Yeah, I think those are it. I think I'm gonna go with those.
Maggie, thank you for the $5 super chat. After watching Raiders of the Story arc.
Oh no, you know what? Total Recall. Let me switch that out. Total Recall in there.
There you go. After watching Raiders of the Story arc of TMNT earlier, have you ever wanted to bring it back with other shows?
I mean, it just takes a little too much time now because, back then I was younger. I had a lot more energy and stuff like that. And when I have to go through a show and talk about it, you have to find the clips. It takes longer and everything. So it probably not. But I remember one I kind of want to go back to just because it was so crazy and asinine was the Pound Puppies one. It just made no sense. Even when I was a kid, I was just like, wait, what's the plot of this again? It's just so stupid. So that was the only one where I was kind of like, oh, it's a shame I didn't get to that one. Though I think that one might be just done in one episode. So maybe, I don't know, maybe when I'm in a goofy mood, I might go back and do that one.
Obro Productions, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen the Knuckles show on Paramount? I enjoyed it, but I get the divisive reception. You should review it for Sonic Month if you ever do it.
No, I haven't. I don't have Paramount Plus. I thought it was weird giving it a show. I like Knuckles is cool, but I don't know. I'm still not that big into, and they're in the real world, like I want to see them in the cool 90s fantasy world, kind of thing. But I haven't heard if it's good or bad. I guess if it was bad, I would have heard if it was really bad. But maybe one day I'll check it out.
Edge, thank you for the 59 NOK through Super Chat. I always love stories about bugs, like Buzz on Maggie. You heard of it? It's another bug story. It's on rock and roll that doesn't... Oh, sorry. But it's rock and roll that doesn't focus on rock and roll. Buzz on Maggie.
No, I've never even heard of it. I'll try to check it out.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Fun fact about Bug's life. Originally, instead of Flick, the main character was going to be an ant named Red, who was a member of the Circus Bugs. John Lasseter changed it because he didn't think Red was a strong main character, and yet apparently he thought Flick was. Don't really get the logic.
Man, that's a shame, man. If they focused on the Circus Bugs, I think they would have been. I mean, you can keep the story the same, where they, discover these ants, and they mistake them and everything. But that's a shame because I think the film would have been better if they did that.
Small Movie World, thank you for the 500 bits. Ever since you started playing on Twitch every Friday, 3.5 years now, woof, what do you think is the best game that you've played to date on Twitch?
Either one of the Spider-Man games or Arkham City is pretty cool, but I haven't finished Arkham City yet. I did really have a soft spot for Kingdom Hearts 2 also. And 3 I thought was pretty fun to play. I had a good time with it.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thoughts on Calcifer from Howl's Moving Castle?
I gotta see which one that
It's
is.
the little
Can't hold
flame.
it.
Calcifer, the
Oh,
flame.
I think almost like every character, fine. I don't remember him that much, but I remember like, okay, got a laugh or two. I kind of like the animation on the eyes are kind of bouncing around with the way the flames move and everything. So it's all right.
Chase, thank you for the $5 super chat. You could still do NCF ups. At the end of Princess Bride review, when Rob said was saying boo, but it sounded exactly like douchey, he could be the new nitpicker.
The big thing, well, one, there's just way too many now. I mean, it's been so many years since we did the last one. And also, I don't know how well they would do. I mean, they probably would get some views because I know people want to see, oh, where did he screw up and everything. But I just don't know how we would compile that. I mean, the last one I think was done like maybe year 4, something like that. We've been doing this 17 years. I mean, how would you even like add those up? I don't know.
What up, JD? Thank you for the $5 super chat. I grew up watching both Bugs Life and Ants. I always thought Ants had better jokes, voice talent, plot, and Christopher Walken. This is not over, Ants. I can't do a Christopher Walken. I'm sorry.
I like the Ants a lot more as well. It's funny because there's some movies where I'll go back and kind of see like what people think of them now. It's like Rotten Tomatoes or something, and that's another one where it's like I remember people really liking that movie when it came out. Now it has like some sort of like not hate, but the views are very mixed when it comes to the audience scores on that and like IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I remember liking it okay.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Happy belated birthday, Heather. Hope your day was a good one. I'm curious to know, what is a film that you like that Doug doesn't, and vice versa? A movie, one of my comfort movies is Moulin Rouge.
Gotta say Moulin Rouge, yeah.
Instantly, we know that's the one.
well, okay, let's do the flip. What one do you think I'm gonna say then?
What, that you like that I don't?
That I like Todd. That you don't like, yeah.
Sweeney Todd.
Yep. So we both have that musical that drives the other one nuts, and we're like, yeah, come on, lighten up.
Edge, thank you for the 59 NOK through Super Chat. Have any of you tracked down the Red Lobster? He killed my best friend Smash Ultra, and I want revenge or justice, whatever.
No, he used his lobster webbing to get away.
Nathan, thank you for the $5 Super Chat. How do you feel the animation of A Bug's Life aged? Also, De Niro was originally thought of to voice Hopper. How do you feel Spacey did?
De Niro would have been fine. I think Spacey did better. He has a little bit of a smarminess, if that's the word. And for the time, the animation's fine. I thought, again, comparing it to Ants was kind of more distinct and odd looking, so I kind of liked it, and it was a little like purposefully uglier, and I think that was intentional. I like the bugs were to scale too. Like a bee is really, really big compared to an ant. That always drove me nuts that all the bugs were the same size in A Bug's Life, because I'm kind of like, oh, come on, you can really make this world even more interesting if they were all like the actual sizes they were. But it aged fine.
Vampire Logic, thank you for the $5 super chat. Do you think you might ever do a video talking about Arcane?
It's another one where I don't know how much more I could add that I feel like everyone else hasn't already added, or it's just very plain to see. I mean, I don't know anyone that's seen that show. It's like, too. I mean, like everyone that's seen that show is just like, whoa, like they're blown away by it. So I don't think there's really anything that new I can bring to it. Unless I see the second season, I find, something new. But probably not. But it is. I'm very excited for the second and last season. I can't believe it's. Why are they only doing 2? Come on, you can do like 3 or 4. But okay, sure. I'm just glad there is another one.
Small Movie World, thank you for the 500 bits. Fanscription idea, how to adapt a faithful full-length feature movie of Almond Joe. Yeah, I haven't been here for months. Of course I'm late to the punchline of this joke. Oh man, I completely forgot about Almond Joe. That was a Twitch running joke for a little while.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Almond Joe.
Mm-hmm. You had to remind me, it's like, it's a Twitch running joke. I'm like, that's right.
It was our running joke, Doug.
I remember those days.
Majestic Demon, thank you for the 500 bits. Doug, think of the most messed up movies you've ever seen. I'll give you a second. Okay, now multiply that by 100, because if you haven't seen a stop motion film called Mad God, this stop motion film from heck is all 7 circles of what the truck did I just see?
I know what it is. I have it saved like somewhere on Amazon or something. I haven't gotten around to seeing it yet, but no, I'm because I like that guy's stuff. Phil Tippett, I think is how you say his name. And yeah, I watched like the documentary on him and everything, so I really enjoy his work a great deal. But I haven't seen that yet, and I should. I think when I heard about it, it wasn't all done yet. Like they had split up into parts, and now I think all the parts are out. So yeah, I should give it a watch. In fact, I'll write it down to remind me.
Brian, thank you for the $5 super chat. Will you ever review the Highlander movie from 1986? You and Tamara did a Tamara hasn't seen, and you said you would do an NC for it.
I will something. It's on the list. It's another one of those where it's like I have no idea how to do, so I'm just like, when I don't know how they'll do, I usually throw them out in January because if they don't do well, who cares? Like the ads are at that point anyway. So we'll see. I do want to talk about it because I had a ball with that movie.
Prowl, thank you for the $5 super chat. I know I just posted a question, but how did you watch the new Beetlejuice trailer showcasing? No, did you? Sorry, not how did you? That would be silly. Did you watch the new Beetlejuice trailer showcasing his ex-wife? And if so, what did you think of it?
I mean, I've seen at least 2 trailers. I saw the teaser, and then I saw whatever trailer came after that. It's all over the place. I mean, right now, the trailers and advertising and stuff like that. And I'm torn on the whole thing with the wife. I hope it's just like a little side joke. That's it. I don't know if I want to know more about like his past life, because that's clearly just a throwaway joke. I mean, he literally throws it away, doesn't he? The finger. But we'll see. If they can do something great with it, cool. But honestly, the thing I'm most excited for with it is the effects. I can't remember the last time I've said that. Just the fact that we're getting more effects that are done in camera and not digitally. It's clearly digital effects there, but that there's so many that are actually done in camera. I'm just very, very excited for it. I'm hoping if the movie does well, which I think it kind of has to at this point, I can't see it not doing well. I'm really hoping they'll open people up and say, hey, there are other ways to do effects.
Emerald Cruz, thank you for the $10 super chat. Once again, wondering how you avoid going into debt by spending weekly movie tickets.
I mean, I know movies are expensive, but they're not that expensive.
This is like the 4th or 5th time, too, they've asked this question. I don't know.
Yeah.
How do you afford to spend $10 a week asking Doug how he can afford movie tickets?
That's the real question.
Ruben Hall, thank you for the $5 super chat. What do you think of Tar? It's one of my favorite films of the decade, and it has a banger song, Apartment for Sale.
That's the Kate Blanchett movie, right? Tar movie. I mean, that's the only one I can think of. Yeah. I liked it. I really wish it was shorter. That did not need to be that long. I am just watching it like, man, when are they gonna get to the point? And I know it's a character study. I know it's the idea, but I'm just like, we get it. What will you just get to the point already? And when it does, it's good. I love the ending. The ending is a pretty great payoff. But yeah, I really thought like this could be done in an hour and a half really easily, and I don't know why they had to take that long with it. But I did enjoy it. It's a good film.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, I saw your review with Brad from back in the day, but I'm curious to know what your real thoughts on the Passion of the Christ are.
I didn't like it. Man, if watching this show called The Chosen, I mean, to me, that's what when they said that line in South Park. If you really want to learn more about Jesus and focus on like what he taught, like the stuff about love and forgiveness, and like that's what The Chosen is, and it feels like it not only is its heart in the right place, but its brain is in the right place. And Passion feels like both are in the wrong place. You know what I mean? Like it just feels so exploitive. But I hear like some people, like it changed their lives and made them religious and stuff. And I'm like, okay. I mean, again, I kind of feel like the talk of love and forgiveness should maybe get you into that. But I mean, that plays a part too, I guess. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've seen it done better, and again, less exploitive. The South Park episode really does sum up my thoughts on it.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 500 bits. I would love for a Kingdom Hearts world for A Bug's Life. I would love for Sora and the gang to hop along the clovers, explore the anthill, hide in the grass dog clubhouse, fly on the dandelions, battle the bird grasshoppers, or even build and do a flight simulator of the fake bird, etc.
The bird thing would be cool. Everything else, I kind of feel like we've seen in Kingdom Hearts. They do so many shrunk down levels, and I'm sure it'd be fine. But I feel like everyone would just be like, "Oh, think of the other levels we could have gotten, instead of this." So, yeah, I'm sure it'd be fine. But I guess I'm not really a huge person on we're shrunk down kind of thing. Like it's neat, but it only goes so far for me.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. I'm really excited about Sonic 3. Like you, I love the alliance of convenience, and I'm looking forward to seeing Robotnik team up with Sonic.
Yeah, and again, I don't know anything about that Robotnik father character, so I'm looking forward to what they're going to do with that. The one thing that I am kind of sad about, I thought when they see, you see Robotnik again, they see him, he's like playing a song in his belly or something else, just like, oh, we finally going to get fat Robotnik? And no, he just has a pot belly and that's it. It would have been nice if they actually did make him bigger, like have him slowly become more and more like the character.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Might have a tornado warning. Hope you guys have a great stream in case our power goes out. Please
Oh
stay
yeah.
safe. Don't keep yourself in danger for silly Doug here. No.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Be
we're in
safe.
Chicago. We're becoming more and more tornado prone.
Mhm.
So yeah, we definitely know. With that said, we're usually pretty good at knowing when they're real and when, hey, let's go out and take a look, kind of thing. Which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing that we have them that many times that we're aware, but I think it's a good thing.
Small Movie World, thank you for the 500 bits. You know, a running NC joke I kind of wish went a bit longer? The Colm Wilkinson Bring Me Home bit from Les Mis. Russell Crowe's death scene with Colm's shaky high note is a thing of beauty.
Home. I feel so bad because that was live, and it's one of those things where you just know after he did that note, he's like, oh, "Damn it, I messed that up." But yeah, I thought it was a fair amount that we used in there. But yeah, whenever there's a setup for throwing sound effects here, I'm usually going to go too long with it. So maybe that's me cutting it back.
James, thank you for the $10 super chat. My Blu-ray copy of The Straight Story arrived today from New Zealand. It's the only Lynch film I like, and Farnsworth should have won the Oscar over Spacey for his awful film American Beauty.
I like his performance more than Spacey's in that way. I thought I don't hate that film. I don't even know if I dislike it, but I do think it's pretty in your face and over the top. And there's definitely stuff I feel like now you could question a little bit more for so many reasons. But yeah, I really like that movie. And again, maybe for different reasons than other people do. I mean, I see a lot of people talk about, wow, you really feel the heart when he connects with these people and stuff like that. And the funny thing is, I found a lot of those moments almost kind of empty. And to me, I thought that was like they're empty and they're not at the same time. Like they feel like real encounters, but that kind of includes kind of the boredom of it too. But again, when you get to that ending without giving it away, I feel like that's intentional. And again, I like that people can see something different in that film when they watch it.
Giancarlo, thank you for the $5 super chat. Saw Megamind reviewed, tired from starting college. I'm also working on Reboot to Quarantine 2008 with a good story titled Quarantine Recon. Like?
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. Maori Link, thank you for the $5 super chat. Good day. Who is the scariest character from Disney and DreamWorks?
Scariest. I mean, I always go with it's kind of a cheap. I always kind of go with Chernenbog from Fantasia because I do think he's supposed to be the devil. I think he's supposed to be like, he gathers all evil dim and everything, and then the Ave Maria comes. I mean, come on, it's supposed to be the devil. But under that, like one that actually has like, character, plot, motivation, all that, probably Frollo. He's a pretty creepy dude. And DreamWorks, I'd have to go through them again. Maybe a toss-up between Ramesses and the Kung Fu Panda 2 villain. I thought was pretty well done. He was pretty impressively heartless, but could also be really funny.
Sean, thank you for the £5 super chat. Which is your worst animated film? Titanic 3, Felix the Cat, Food Fight, or something we don't know of?
probably food fight. That was just, I mean, it looked bad. It was just an insult to the senses, you know what I mean? Just a constant insult. Yeah, I think that's still probably it.
Keith Creature, thank you for the 500 bits. You said in your reaction that you don't expect Sonic 3 to be dark. Was that a bit? If not, oh boy. Given Shadow's canon backstory, prepare to be surprised.
Well,
Do you know
okay.
do you know Shadow's backstory?
No, I'm assuming it was
Okay.
made in a lab, you know, but no, when I say dark but not dark, I'm assuming that it's going to have a dark look and there's probably going to be like a tragic backstory. Again, as someone who does not know the backstory of this character,
Don't spoil it,
um,
chat.
but
Don't tell him.
but it's also, you know, the movie where, like, you know, a wedding takes over like a good chunk of movie 2, and in movie 1 they're in a road trip most of the time and everything. I'm like, I say to myself, well, how dark can these movies really get? And maybe I'll be proven wrong. I don't know.
Small Movie World, thank you for the 500 bits. I rewatched Madagascar recently, still holds up, but couldn't stop giggling myself because it features Chris Rock and Jada Pinkett Smith together, and well, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that is her in that movie, isn't it? I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, boy, that does
I
make
thought
that
you
funnier.
froze for a second again there.
No, I had to really think about that. I'm like, ooh, that's pretty funny, actually.
That is.
Yeah. Oh.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Who are your top 3 favorite Jim Cummings characters?
Oh, I think Winnie the Pooh has to be up there. He just voices him so well. Probably Pete. He also does it. He just always makes those lines funny. Maybe Darkwing Duck. Again, he's just so good at having this very funny voice, but just making it very humorous too. I guess they improvised a lot of those. I am the noun that verbs your other noun. Like I guess they made up a lot of those when they were recording, and those are always great. So yeah, I think that works.
Christianized Demon, thank you for the $5 super chat. Can you review my favorite movie of all time, Scott Pilgrim versus the World?
Maybe I wouldn't mind checking it out again because it was very divisive when it came out. I didn't think I was gonna like it, and actually, I still don't know if I like it. It does kind of feel like one of those style over substance movies, but it's not like there's no substance there. And I only saw it once, and maybe watching it years later, I might have a different take on it. But I do remember really liking the style and kind of the abstract idea of it. But I think I had the problem a lot of people had. It's just that the main dude was a little too unlikable. But I don't know. Maybe I'll watch it now and be like, oh my God, I love what a jerk this guy is. Like, I'm not sure. So I got to watch it again.
Jack, thank you for the €5 super chat. Just watched Beetlejuice just now, and it was just as amazing as the other times I watched it. Looking forward to the sequel coming out.
Yeah, I saw, because I guess England got it before us, and BBC had a really good review of it. They were saying it was like better than the first one, like in every respect. So yeah, I got an early screening of it too, so I'm pretty excited about that. I don't know if it's on IMAX though, so I may have to when I come back from it and it comes out everywhere, I might have to watch it on IMAX because it looks like a good IMAX movie.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen Hitchcock's Frenzy? Brad said that it's his favorite. If you haven't heard of it, what other Hitchcock movies have you never seen / heard of?
Oh, I mean, he made so many. Hitchcock Frenzy. Yeah, I don't. Let me see if that. I don't think I know this one. Wait. Oh, is that what it was called? Why did I think this was called something else? Yes, I have seen this one. It's good. It's not like my favorite of it. A friend of mine brought up a really good point. He's like, no, this is good, and we watched it together and everything. He said, but you kind of get the feeling he just saw Clockwork Orange. And he's like, ooh, this is like the new Risque. This is the new Pushing the Envelope, and he was messing with it a bit, trying to see what he can do. And it's not. It's hard to say it's bad, but it's hard to say it's good either. When he plays with it. But the movie is still good. It still has the great suspense to it and everything. It's weird seeing like a film that kind of looks more modern from Hitchcock. I just totally forgot it was called that. But yeah, it is a good movie. It's neat seeing Hitchcock get about as close to like kind of modern day filmmaking as you can with that, because I think that was one of his last movies.
Christian, thank you for the $5 super chat. Heather, I think this week is the first I have ever seen you in an NC video. Well, I've got news. I've been in at least 3 to 5 every year since 2016.
Yeah. Yeah, she's been in quite a few.
Yeah, that's all right. Also, whatever happened to $20 cosplay? You get bored with it or something? It just became unsustainable. It was one of those things where we did it at a time when Ayana, Tamara, and I just didn't necessarily have the time we needed to dedicate to it. And also it just kind of felt wasteful for us to create these cosplays that we didn't feel good enough about to like wear again or wear to a convention. So it just wasn't really sustainable, and we all just kind of agreed that it was more effort than it was kind of worth, you know. The Gaming Politician, thank you for the $2 super chat. Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 500 bits. My sister and I also still have a Francis Ladybug plush, and I have a Dot plush. I wanted to be Dot on the Halloween 98, but they didn't have any Dot costumes, so I was Princess Ada.
Somewhere, I can't remember. I think my girlfriend at the time, because the one character I think I kept quoting was the caterpillar, the little German caterpillar. So she got me this little toy, this little plastic toy of him. And every time I see the movie now, I just think this little plastic toy because they look very plasticky in the movie. So yeah, they were designed pretty well to sell toys, I think.
Small Movie World, thank you for the 500 bits. Fun fact, George Newbern, who has voiced Superman and Sephiroth in his career, also did the voice of Teddy from Theodore Rex. That is a fun fact.
I did not know that.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. They could call it a Bug's Life 98. The sequel.
They yeah. And they try to go back to kind of that old school CG animation where the textures don't quite look right.
Eagle Spangled, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey Doug, as you know, Wink, Nostalgiaween is coming up, and I have 2 suggestions for you to review for this occasion: Paranorman and Corpse Bride.
One of those I'm gonna do.
Christianized Demon, thank you for the $5 super chat. Strange question. I was thinking of reviewing old cartoons I grew up with and wanted to know if you have any advice.
With anything going into entertainment, I always say, do it because you love it. Because if you're looking to make like a living out of it or something like that, or get a lot of attention from it or likes or anything like that, the odds are kind of stacked against you because it's available to everyone and everyone is trying it. But if you look back and you're like, hey, I'm doing this because I love it, you've already won. Because if it doesn't go anywhere, well, then you're just doing what you already love. And you're going to be doing it no matter what. If it does go somewhere, you'll just be all the more thankful and all the more happy. Because I've definitely seen people who work on projects and videos and stuff to try and get the attention and get the fame and stuff like that. And again, they either don't get it, they're miserable, or what's worse, they do get it and they're miserable. So just make sure it's something you really want to do and you really have a love for. And if it is, I think the rest will kind of naturally fall into place.
Jace, thank you for the $10 super chat. Follow up on Little Rascals review request. I don't know why I couldn't say that. I'm actually a distant cousin of OG Elf Alpha, Carl Dean Schweitzer. The movie is great, and the cast recreated the DVD cover 10 years ago. I'd watch your review.
Man, that's another one where, you know what I'll do? Because I have the Dennis the Menace movie on the list. Like at some point, I'm gonna do that. If that does okay, I'll do Little Rascals. I do remember seeing a little bit of it on TV, and it was okay. Like I was really thinking like, oh, well, that looks lame, just another cash grab, whatever. But the little bit I was watching, I was kind of like, well, it actually doesn't look that bad. So if I do test the Menace movie and it does well, I'll probably do the Little Rascals.
Too bad Waluigi time. Thank you for the £5 super chat. Why do you think videos on animated movies seem to always get more views than live action reviews?
Well, it depends on, I think, when they came out. And I mean, it also does depend on the algorithm, what's going to push them more, what franchise has people looking at and everything. A theory I have that I'm starting to put together, and I'm kind of curious, I'm going to do a little experimenting with it in the next few videos, is that movies from the 90s, particularly whether they're like kids movies from the 90s, I think do well right now because you have the younger people, whatever, like Gen Z and stuff like that, who grew up with it maybe on TV. And then you also have like Gen X who grew up with it years later too. So that's kind of like double, the millennials do and everything. So it's kind of like double, triple the audience. So with that said, I do think there's ones that like just some people have never seen, or maybe they're too obscure. So I don't know. Well, also with animation, I think you can talk a lot about the art of it, the drawing style, and everything. That's definitely something I like to do when talking about it.
Small Movie World, thank you for the 500 bits. A performance you like from an actor that you dislike. I think Jared Leto is genuinely good in Requiem for a Dream. To be fair, the whole cast is. Even Marlon Wayans of all people. Wayans.
Yeah, I keep forgetting he's in that movie. I actually liked him fine in Morbius. I thought he did a good job. But the only thing, one that I really like, I don't like and stuff. I actually thought Matthew Broderick was pretty good in Ferris Bueller. I do think there's other, people you could have chosen that could have done better, but I thought he did a perfectly fine job.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Who do you think gives the better performance in the Sonic movies? Jim Carrey as Robotnik or Ben Schwartz as Sonic?
I gotta go with Ben Schwartz only because I don't think they really hammered out Robotnik's character in the first one. He's just kind of weird and wacky, and that's it. Where in the second one, he has a reason to be that way, and the comedy works now that he wants revenge and everything. Where Ben Schwartz, I mean, was pretty straightforward with, what kind of character he was and everything, and he played it fine. So I guess I'll go with that. But in the sequel, who got more laughs? Jim Carrey got a lot more laughs out of me in the sequel.
Crass, thank you for the $5 super chat. Freakazoid may have gotten Ricardo Montalban on the show just to say doo-doo water, but it can't be as weird as the time he guest starred on Dora. Yeah.
I didn't know he did. On Dora the Explorer? Really?
I'm assuming that's what Dora is.
I guess he did pass away later than I thought, the more I think about it. Yeah, for some reason I was thinking like he passed away in the 90s or something, but it's like, yeah, no, it was later because he's in like the Spy Kids movies and everything. So maybe I'll look that up.
Storm, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug was hoping for my thoughts on Twisters and Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Planning on talking about them?
Once I see them. I still haven't seen them yet. Frozen Empire, I know it's streaming now, so I should check it. What I'll probably do, because I'm going to try and review all the Ghostbusters movies at some point, and we got a few left. I'll probably say Frozen Empire for then. And Twisters, I hear is good. I'm not really in a rush to see it because I didn't like the first one, but a lot of people say even if you don't like the first one, this one's good. So yeah, I'll try to check it out at some point.
BR37, thank you for the £5 super chat. Thoughts on Teddy and Bob's Burgers?
Oh, love Teddy. Oh my God, that's he has some of the best lines in that show. And great performance too. That voice is so distinct and so funny. Yeah, no, he's a great character.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. What are your 3 favorite John Goodman roles? Spoiler, he's one of the greats of all time.
Yeah, man. I mean, you got to throw Walter on there, obviously, from Big Lebowski. I think he's great as Dan in Roseanne. He's really wonderful. Man, outside of... He's okay as the babe. The movie itself isn't that great. Let's see. John Good. That's another one where I want to get that down because he is such a good actor. Trying to see ones that like pop up here. Yeah, let's go with Barton Fink. I don't entirely know what that movie is about, but he acts his ass off in it, and I think he does a really good job.
KJK, thank you for the 500 bits. No message, just the bits. Small Movie World, thank you for the 500 bits. What's your least favorite Daria episode? For me, it's the holidays one. So bizarrely out of place in an otherwise seriously grounded show.
That one and the musical, I don't like. I don't like them at all. They're very like even episodes are kind of lesser episodes. It's like they're still good. And then yeah, there's just these 2 episodes that stand out that just are not at all like the show. And I mean, I guess they're trying something different, fair enough. But yeah, I just didn't feel like they worked.
Christian Morrison, thank you for the £2 super chat. Dylan, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen the Comedians in Cars episode featuring Obama? And if so, what are your thoughts?
Yes. Does he like sneak up to like the Oval Office and stuff like that? Yeah, I did see that. And I think I've seen all of them, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, I really, really like that show.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Have either of you seen the live action Tick shows? I really like the one that was on Amazon and was disappointed when it got canceled.
Yeah, I have a soft spot for all of them. It's not surprising why they didn't last. they are a little clunky and awkwardly done. It's sad because the only version of the Tick I really feel like got along, a fair amount of time and was also very faithful to the comic, was the cartoon. And it's a shame because I feel like live action is so funny for that setup where just everybody's normal and there's just a superhero walking around. Like, if you really question that, it's so bizarre. And they never quite got that down. They never quite got how that visually could look really, really funny and how to shoot it. But I did like how the later one did try to do more of like a Jessica Jones Daredevil type dark and gritty style. Like, that was kind of the style at the time. So I like they kind of took that on.
Small Movie World, thank you for the 500 bits. What is the most boring movie you've ever seen on the big screen? Dark Phoenix and Lion King remakes, both legit, almost made me fall asleep.
Man, trying to think. It's a really good question. Boring. I'm trying to think of one where I got like angry. Like, I was so angry at how boring it was. Man, I'm blanking. And it's like I can feel myself in the seat, like slumping and just hating it, but I can't remember the actual film. Oh, I know. I don't know if this is the absolute most boring, but it's definitely a more recent one where I was like, oh my God, just end already. The last Indiana Jones movie. That was pretty unbearable at times. I saw it on IMAX too, and I was just slumping like this, like, oh my God, just end.
Jack Sheehy, thank you for the €5 super chat. There's this new comedy disaster movie from A24 coming out called Y2K, and it's about the Y2K conspiracy and what would happen if it actually did happen.
I mean, if it actually did, if you've seen the trailer, I don't think they're following many facts, many logical deductions there. I don't know, because it does go it looks like it's going so bonkers crazy, which does kind of look fun, but I'm kind of with you. I'm kind of like, well, I'd just be thinking like, well, it'd be kind of fun to see what actually happened, but I don't know. Maybe it'll be so crazy it'll be a good time. I'm not sure. I don't know what to make of the trailer. It's a fun idea. I love the idea of making a movie around that, but yeah, we'll see how it turns out.
Strider for Life, thank you for the $20 super chat. Remember that disaster movie 2012? On New Year's Eve, before 2012 came, people were standing outside waiting for the apocalypse to happen, but when it didn't, they were like, well, this is awkward.
Back to work, I guess.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. A Bug's Life, I didn't know that the girl from Seinfeld was the princess.
Yeah, it's sad because when I hate it when they put really funny people in roles that aren't that funny. And she is so funny. And I'm just like, there's nothing for this character to do. This is just such a thankless role, and she couldn't save it. The best part is her, again, just doing the bloopers at the end, because they just feel so real. I just love her laughing and not being able to say that line. For whatever reason, she found that funny. Yeah, that was probably the funniest scene from her.
Lemon Teeth, thank you for that 6-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome back. Bro, bring the channel awesome and come to the UK.
If you want us out there, we've been there before. So yeah, if you want us out there, just find a convention that you think can fly us out there. Say, hey, we want Channel Awesome there. Maybe we can make it out there.
I would love to go. I haven't gone. JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Happy National Power Rangers Day, Doug.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Heard of the Missing with Tommy Lee Jones and Cate Blanchett, and or Cleaner with Samuel L. Jackson and Ed Harris. They're my examples of good cast and bad movies.
I don't even think I've heard of that one. The Missing 2003. No, I have not. Probably because, like you said, they are bad movies.
Kichiyuki, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hi, Doug. Been watching you since the start. I noticed your recent videos haven't been at the office space. Has something happened to the office? Are you planning on finding a different space?
Yeah, we
a tornado happened in the studio.
Yeah, and then and they didn't fix it very well. So yeah, we say we're currently looking for another one, but it's like we think there's one we thought we had, but then there was a bunch of like hidden fees and stuff. So we think we found one now that we're pretty happy with. We're just like, doing the talks with them and negotiations and all that. So, and yeah, if you watch the Amazing Spider-Man, Spider-Verse movie, Spider-Verse 2 movie, we explain what happened there.
Small Movie World, thank you for the 500 bits. Favorite Family Guy character? For me, it's a no-brainer. Adam West. Oh, I'm sorry. Mayor Adam West.
That is a pretty good choice. Let me see. I'm trying to think of one that was just always funny, like always got a laugh. Brian's usually pretty good as kind of the cynical straight man, but I'm blanking on the character's name, but the Patrick Warburton character is
Oh,
pretty
Joe,
funny.
right?
Joe, yeah, I think just because it's Patrick Warburton, he can kind of make he can make the phone book funny.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Do you remember the divisive Breaking Bad episode where Jesse and Walt spend the episode trying to kill a fly? If you do, what do you think of it?
I get what they were trying to do. I am one of those that didn't think it worked, but I appreciate the effort. I get the idea. It's supposed to be a character building episode where they obsess over something, but you find out more about them. Keep it simple, kind of thing. But I didn't hate it. Honestly, I'm one of those people that felt like the show didn't really get going. It didn't get interesting until you brought in like Gus and Saul and Michael. That's why I like Better Call Saul a lot more, because it's just about those three. But it was still good. It didn't get interesting to me until those characters popped in.
African based, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hi, Dougie boy. Want to start a cult?
I mean, I got the shaved head.
Ice Luigi, thank you for the $7 super chat. Doug, would you be willing to do an NC review of Step Brothers 2008?
I'm one of those people that just did not find that movie funny. And I was ready to find it funny. I thought the trailer looked funny. I like these actors. I thought the past couple films Will Ferrell did at that time were good. And I just didn't get into it all. I don't know. Maybe it's one of those comedies where I need to return to it with a different like mindset or different sense of humor, because there are some comedians like that. I used to not like Norm Macdonald. Now I think he's hilarious. So maybe it's one of those movies that works that way. I don't know. I'll try to give it another chance, but yeah, I get the feeling if I review it, I'm just gonna get a lot of hate for it. So probably not.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen Man of the House starring Chevy Chase and Jonathan Taylor Thomas? Possible Disney-cember or NC in the upcoming year?
Might do a Disney-cember. We knew it was going to be bad, but there was just nothing else to do that day. So we're just like, yeah, let's watch it. And it was, but it wasn't awful. It was definitely one of those movies where it's just like, yeah, I don't know. It's just, we like going to movies. That's there. Why not? It's a matinee, I think. So, but yeah, I could probably do a Disney-cember on it.
Nathan Cody, thank you for becoming a member over on YouTube. Really appreciate that.
Thank you.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. ET was a very good one, and you really should do an NC.
I might, because again, it's interesting to talk about. I mean, you can talk about how good it is, because it is a very good movie. I'm definitely not going to say it's not. But it would be interesting to talk about why there isn't a ton of discussion around it, because I feel like there is a reason for that. I'm not sure why. So it would be interesting to analyze that.
Jace, thank you for the $10 super chat. Have you seen the commercial for the Mars Attacks? Sorry, Mars. I don't know if they mean Mars Attacks or Mars Attracts world build game. I thought they might. Mars Attacks has had multiple iterations in comics and cards, but the best they come up with for a video game is a theme park tycoon sim?
Okay, good. I'm not the only one then, because I was kind of like, I don't know a ton about Mars Attacks aside from the movie, and that was based on these cards. And when I saw that ad, I'm like, is this like a part of the franchise I don't know about? I thought it was weird. Maybe they have some sort of plan for it to like really do something new and different with it. But yeah, I wasn't connecting the dots that much on that either.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Who do you think is the better Gwen Stacy? Emma Stone in the movies or Lacey Chabert in Spectacular?
That's rough. Probably Spectacular, because again, they did have more time to dedicate to her, and they did kind of give her a unique spin. That was kind of a new take on that character. So I liked it. I liked what they did with her.
Matt, thank you for the $10 super chat. Have you played Sonic Adventure 2 yet? Since the third Sonic movie is going to borrow quite a bit from it, even down to the title. Hopefully the soundtrack too. Those movies need it.
No, is that one of those?
Fun.
Is that one of those that you think can be done in like a stream or two, or is it one of those where it take like weeks or something?
A little bit longer than a stream or two.
Okay. maybe it'll be like a good palate cleansing game. We'll see. Yeah, in time for the movie or something. Might be an idea.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. What are your 3 favorite honest trailers?
Man, well, the one with me in it, obviously. No, let me see. I'm trying to think of what one. Sonic Adventures 2, by the way, that was the game, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, just making sure. I'm trying to think of what ones just made me laugh so hard, like I had to rewind it. I remember Jurassic Park being pretty funny. I really gotta go. It's like it's one of those things, they've been around for so long now. I'm kind of blanking. Like, yeah,
Yeah. You can't think of specific ones. No, Doug, don't leave us again. Doug, come back. We are scared. We don't know what to do without you. Everybody sing! No. He'll be back. He'll be back. He will. Genuinely, his internet just drops like this sometimes. I like this freeze frame, though.
I don't get into Pokemon,
Oh,
but
there he is. He's
oh,
back.
did I disappear?
You did.
Oh,
You're back
that's
now.
good, because I was just spending the time looking up Oz trailers. So
Great,
it's good.
fantastic.
So it was gonna be wasted anyway. I'm not even, you know me, I'm not a big Pokemon guy, but the one where they list all the Pokemons and do a joke with it, that was chef's kiss, man. Like, holy smokes. I'm like, no, they're not actually gonna do it. And they did. I was so blown away by that. And yeah, and then I like the one with the Red Letter Media guys in there, because they don't usually do cameos. So the fact they got them was at Dark Knight Rises. I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah, I think those are pretty good. Those are good ones.
Sean, thank you for the $10 super chat. Just finished binge watching Owl House and loved it. Favorite character, loved Ida. Favorite episode, mine's Ida's Requiem. Jesus Christ, Heather. And thoughts on LGBTQ representation. I thought they handled it well.
Yeah, no, I really liked it. The only thing that held me back from probably calling it my favorite is the villain. I thought the villain was way too boring and one note. Even when they tried to give him the complex backstory, it's kind of the backstory you just think it's going to be. And even the surprises aren't really that surprising, in my opinion. But everything else, I love that world. I love those characters. It's probably the quickest I got into one of those kind of cartoon epic shows. So, no, I enjoyed it a great deal.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. In 2002, they did E.T. with CGI and went the George Lucas route with Star Wars.
Oh, yeah. Well, I remember taking out the guns with the walkie-talkies and everything. Yeah, there's definitely stuff we can say with that, too. Yeah. There really is material for a review, isn't there? Yeah. It's, again, not bad idea.
KJK, thank you for the 500 bits. What's your opinion on glitch productions like Murder Drones and The Amazing Digital Circus?
I've only seen an episode of both Murder Drones and Digital Circuit. They're fine. They just didn't grab me. It wasn't really my thing, but they were well done. I mean, visually they look great. They were creative. But yeah, it's another one of those where I can't really explain what it is that doesn't just suck me in like other shows do, like something like Hell of a Boss or something like that. But yeah, the fact that they have a following doesn't surprise me. I mean, there's a lot of creativity to them and everything. And again, they're well done. It's not my thing, surprisingly.
Juliana, thank you for the $5 super chat. What did you and Rob think of the Now You See Me movies? I have a feeling you liked it and Rob hated it.
I never saw them. They never interested me. It was one of those movies where I just kind of knew, and maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like a lot of it's going to ride on the twist. And the twist is going to be really forced and convoluted. And there's going to be like 5 or 6 of them. And it's just going to be really like shticky and gimmicky. So I never saw them. And most people who saw them and didn't like them said that's what they were. But I could be wrong. Maybe I'll see it and be like, oh, they're all wrong. I love these movies.
Evening Blues, thank you for the $5 super chat. What's your happy place movie, Doug? Mine, for example, is George of the Jungle. It's just cheeseball fluff, but it's upbeat and holds my attention.
Man. Like just immediately puts me in a good mood. Boy, I'd have to really think about that.
Mine is Mean Girls.
I'm trying to think, would it be like a Disney movie, or would it be like, I feel like it had to be a movie I maybe don't even think is that good, but I just love watching it. Like maybe like the first Ninja Turtles movie just brings me a lot of joy. I'll go with that for now, the first Ninja Turtles movie.
Loopy Shot, thank you for the $5 super chat with a very similar question. Doug and Heather, when you're feeling down, what's a movie or show you watch to lift up your spirits? One of mine is Beauty and the Beast.
Um, I do try to watch certain shows, and they change. And it seems it kind of feels like my wife and I always kind of find a similar show, and we're both weirdly on the same page. Like right now, it's King of the Hill. We're just marathoning King of the Hill, and we've seen most of the episodes, but not all of them. And we're just like, man, do I? Especially now that we're over 40, we really love King of the Hill. We just love how delightfully boring the main character is, but he's just so into how delightfully boring he is. So yeah, that's the one that's it for us now.
Patsy, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen Night at the Museum? I rewatched the trilogy because it's the same director as Deadpool and Wolverine. I liked them. Not perfect, though.
I've only seen the first one. I did like the first one. I heard the second and third are what you said. They're just, oh, here we go again, and they're fine, but there's not much to them. So maybe one day I should check them out.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. If you could do anime, I would really like to see you do a review of Yu Yu Hakusho.
I hear it's good. Again, it's another one
is.
when I was what was it? Toonami? Was that it? Yeah, when we were doing Toonami, I was editing some clips. I heard the description of it. I'm like, sounds cool. Yeah, I just don't have the time to watch it right now, but it looked pretty cool.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Heather, I know you like Vox Machina, so I was wondering, did you see the new trailer that dropped today? Oh, yes, I did. I'm very excited. I want more.
What season is this that they're on now?
It's either 3 or 4. I don't know. I should, but I don't. Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you watched Kenneth Branagh's A Haunting in Venice yet? And can we expect a Disney-cember review?
No, I still haven't seen it. I haven't even seen the second one. I heard the second one's not that great. But yeah, I should check them out. I don't know if I'll do a Disney-cember because I don't know if that many people are interested. But maybe I don't know. And maybe I'll do like a compilation video where I just talk about all of them. That might make sense.
Keith Creature, thank you for the 500 bits. Who would you prefer to see in your dreams? Freddy, Pennywise, or Bill Cipher? What choices?
Pennywise would have some pretty good laughs. Waha! Waha! I mean, the jokes at least would be amazing.
Juliana, thank you for the $5 super chat. We know that you think what you think of Dune 1 and 2, but what did Rob think of them, if you know off the top of your head?
Oh, he loves them. He is obsessed with Dune. He even likes the Lynch one. He's just all over them. And yeah, he was really blown away by how good they were, but he also liked that there were changes to it as well. And I think, like me, it gets him kind of excited and curious what they're going to do with the next one, especially not knowing that this was going to be kind of open-ended. I think everyone went in thinking, oh, and this will be part 2. This will be the end because it's one book. You know, I mean, there's other books, but this is the one story. So the fact that they did make it very clear, no, there is going to be another one, should be pretty interesting because they've already made quite a few changes to the story.
Alyssa, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, you ever thought of releasing an NC figurine? I collect U2s, and I would definitely buy one.
Did we ever do that? I guess we didn't. We'll see. I'm terrible at the merchandising stuff. I mean, when I go to cons, I just have like prints and DVDs, and like that's about it. So we'll see. Maybe we'll get on it.
Emerald, thank you for the $5 super chat. Remember, Doug, be worried. Don't be happy.
That classic song that made everyone so worried.
God of Chaos, thank you so much for the $50 super chat. Really appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
Thank you. Hey, Doug, love your stuff. Fanscription is one of my favorites. That's Walter, actually. Walter does Fanscription.
Yeah.
Here's an idea I've thought about for years. Instead of 4 or 5, I think Indy searching for Atlantis would have been more interesting. Feel free to use it for an episode.
Well, I know there's a game that they did on that, or are they doing it?
It's coming soon.
I was gonna say there's a game they're doing. That's right. I think Walter's done a couple Indiana Jones ones. I don't think he's done Atlantis one. But I'll pass it along.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Next Deadpool dance opening eye to eye.
Yeah, if they can find a way to make it work.
Christian, thank you for the $5 super chat. Are you two or anyone else at CA watching any anime? Because Spy Family comes highly recommended to you or anyone else you know watch anime. Me, Rob, and
Oh,
Malcolm are kind of like the Channel Awesome anime people. I loved Spy Family. My husband and I even went to go see the movie when it came to theaters.
yeah, and Rob has like an anime night he usually does once a week. And yeah, I do like anime. I just don't have time to watch it. And I don't think I'm into it quite as much as like Heather, Rob, and Malcolm, but I've seen some great ones, man. And yeah, but in terms of what I'm watching now, no, I'm just trying to get through that imaginary movie because I've started like 2 or 3 times. I still haven't gotten past like the first 3 minutes.
Will, thank you for the $6 super chat. Question for Heather. Have you seen Ghost with Demi Moore and Patrick Swayze, and what are your thoughts? Oh, yeah. I saw it twice. So the first time I saw it, I was too deep in my I'm not like other girls phase, and like some of my friends were like, it's a great little romantic like not comedy, but like a romance movie. It's a wonderful romance movie. You'll love it. And I was like, I don't think it's that romantic. I don't get it. And then I watched it again and I was like, all right, I see the merits of this. I get it.
Well, it's also very dark and messed up too.
It is,
I think that's always
it
what
is.
people leave out. It's a very like the images of like the people being dragged to hell is pretty creepy.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess the sound they did for that for the shadows dragging him and stuff, they took a crying baby, played it backwards, and slowed it down, and it made such a creepy sound. So yeah, so when you hear like, oh yeah, that's in this really romantic movie, you think of like people being dragged to hell.
Yeah.
It's like it's kind of creepy.
The Beetle Boy, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, y'all. After years of having the VHS box set, I'm finally working through the Star Treks for the first time. Thoughts on Voyage Home?
Oh, I like it. A lot of people say it's the best. I can't go that far, but yeah, it's very funny, very charming, and they worked off the chemistry of the people there. So yeah, no, I think it's a real good time.
Brick Cartoonist, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, what's your overall opinion on Disney's Sophia the First and its upcoming TV revival?
I know what it is, but it's the equivalent of asking me what my thoughts are on like Dora the Explorer. Like, I know what it is. It looks fine for kids. I don't think it's for my age group.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Fun fact about Gravity Falls, when Bill takes over the town, he was going to sing a song called It's Gonna Get Weird that got cut. You can listen to it on YouTube.
I feel like I've heard it because that sounds familiar. Man, I must have just Mandela affected that because I know I've heard it. I just thought he sang it in the finale. I guess not. That's so funny. Huh. All right.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. They should make A Bug's Life 2 and have that character be introduced.
Yes, that character, whoever we were talking about. Red from the Circuit is what you're talking about. Yeah, we could do that.
David, thank you for the $5 super chat. 3 words for the next Nostalgia Critic theme month in March. Rob Snyder month.
Yeah, I haven't done that many Rob Snyder. I don't know if I've done any, actually. Yeah, let me
Rob
look
Schneider,
into that.
really?
It's not, somehow I've missed those. Write that down. So I don't know if I'll do a theme month because there's only so much I can take. But yeah, it's a little weird I haven't done any of those. Weirdly, I avoided them quite a bit growing up, but they'd be great material.
Evening Blues, thank you for the $5 super chat. Headcanon, McNitpick was booted from his mom's basement and is in reform. He'll return to make amends with the NC before his last epic relapse.
Sure. No, don't spoil it.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Jared Padlick has walked away from the CW after Walker's cancellation. I thought it was sad because he worked with them for 20 years.
I don't know who or what any of that is. I'm sorry.
Will, thank you for the $10 super chat. How would you rank these Best Picture Oscar winners? Oppenheimer, Forrest Gump, Slumdog Millionaire, and Schindler's List.
All right, so I'm trying to think. Do I put? I feel like I gotta put Schindler's List first. I was going with Schindler's List or Oppenheimer, but I'm like, I think it's gotta be Schindler's List. Oppenheimer would be under it, but pretty close for very different reasons. They're very different movies. And then what they are too, Forrest Gump and
wait, sorry, I was reading ahead. Oppenheimer, Forrest Gump, Slumdog Millionaire, Schindler's List.
Okay, then Slumdog Millionaire and then Forrest Gump.
Chase, thank you for the $5 super chat. And then there was Sean is actually a scary episode of Boy Meets World we talked about a few weeks ago. Just clarifying from earlier.
Oh,
It's not a movie.
I thought because I'm saying to myself, why does that sound familiar? And it's like, okay, That makes more sense.
That's
I
why.
can cross that off as a movie to see. Okay, yeah, maybe I'll watch it again around Halloween.
Yeah. Oi Ramp, thank you for the 500 bits. Thoughts on the Lord of the Rings anime trailer?
I thought it looked cool. I'm pleasantly shocked it's getting a big screen release. It so looked like something that would be on streaming. But I mean, like, I think that's a cool angle to take with Lord of the Rings because, like I like the first Hobbit movie, but I think they kind of got progressively worse after that. I didn't see much of the new. Was it Rings of Power? I didn't see much of it, but what I saw, I wasn't really getting that into. So I think this is kind of a cool way to bring like a little bit more life and energy to it. It didn't look groundbreaking or anything, but it's just, I don't know. How can that not be cool combining like anime and Middle Earth? Like there's got to be some really cool stuff you can do with that. And seeing on the big screen, I think is going to be really, really neat.
The Music World, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thank you for doing the Princess Bride review. I'm surprised you didn't make a COVID joke when he said everyone will be wearing masks. Thoughts on Wonder?
Like the movie Wonder?
I'm assuming.
Wonder. Let me see if that's the movie I'm thinking of. Yeah, I saw that. I remember being good. I don't remember a ton about it, but I remember it being pretty decent. Yeah, I totally forgot about that line from Princess Bride. I guess I was just distracted by everything else.
Crush Level, thank you for being a member for 5 months over on YouTube. Appreciate that. Welcome back. And they say, Doug fails. Woo! Every day we're all just watching Doug fails. Sorry, he didn't have that point apart. I just added it. It felt right. I'm sorry.
This is an improv, Heather.
This isn't improv. I'm sorry, Doug.
Oh, you too.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Can you do a review of the Land Before Time sequels? There was also a Land Before Time TV series.
I mean, I talk about how I don't have time to watch, TV shows to review. I mean, the Land Before Time sequels are like 20 TV shows. There's so damn many of them. Probably not. I give credit to those that do watch them. I think everyone always kind of like takes on the challenge, to watch them and everything. And I get that because there's so many. But yeah, I guess I hear the second one's actually okay from what I hear. And the third one starts to get bad, and then they're all bad after that, I think. But yeah, I've only seen the first one.
I would like you to know, Doug, that chat is all on your side, and they are mad that I've done you dirty like this. Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you seen the show Boardwalk Empire?
No, and I should because Brad is briefly in one of the episodes in the final season. No, but I've seen the wait. Was Boardwalk Empire isn't also a movie, is it? I might be getting that wrong. Boardwalk.
No, I definitely know what it's a show.
Movie. I think I'm thinking of something else. No, it's a series. Okay, I'm confusing it for a movie I saw. No, that's a very long-winded, confusing way of saying no. But I hear it's good.
Will, thank you for the $10 super chat. What's a movie you've disagreed with both Siskel and Ebert on? For me, it's Home Alone. I respect both of them, but it's a Christmas classic that my family and I watch every year.
The one that probably I was like, man, did they just... Because a lot of them I can see where they're coming from, but this was one where I was just like, whoa, did they completely miss it? And I think Ebert went back and re-reviewed it or something because his written review is different. That's Unforgiven. They were just talking about like, yeah, there's not many gunfights in it. It's not that exciting, and it's not really like, it's kind of a downer and stuff. It's like, that's the point. It's to suck out the romanticism of that time period. And if anything, suck out the romanticism of like the movies he's also done in the past and just take a completely different look and really value and look at what it means to take a life and everything. And yeah, they just completely missed that. And like I said, I think Ebert redid his review because when I saw his written review, it said 4 stars. So I think he might have changed his mind on it.
Captain Wolf, thank you for the $20 super chat. Appreciate that. Please, I'm begging you to do the Sea of Thieves, Pirates and Monkey Island crossover for Disney-cember since it's on PlayStation now. Also, I hope you're doing, I'm trying to not translate this, but figure it out because it says, I hope you are donging. I will continuato. Okay, I hope you're doing well. I will continue to pray for Doug and his problems. I got it. We got there. We got there.
Thank you. And yeah, I'll see about the game. We usually try to open it up to kind of like voting and stuff like that. So maybe we'll throw it on there.
Oi Ram, thank you for the 500 bits. You thought about doing an old versus new on Lynch Dune versus recent Dune movies. Seven Samurai versus Magnificent Seven would also be interesting.
Um, terrible confession. I've never seen Magnificent Seven, and I probably should. I have seen Seven Samurai. It's very, very good, but I haven't seen Magnificent Seven. And I mean, with the Dune one, I don't get into, and I love David Lynch, but I don't get into the Lynch version. There's a lot I admire about it, but I think it's very boring, like a lot of people do. And I do get why there's a following for it, but it's not for me. Just everything I would pretty much give to the new versions. I don't know if it would make sense to do.
Mahad, thank you for the $2 super chat. Mike, thank you for the $5 super chat. Been in ill health here lately, and watching the reviews, especially the Ghost Rider and Batman and Robin, helped cheer me up. Thanks, Doug.
Oh, I mean, I hope you feel better, man. Yeah, all our best to you.
Dan Gaming, thank you for the $10 super chat. A quick correction. DreamWorks was the one who rushed their Bug movie to theaters. Bug's Life wasn't rushed, but after Ants, people were already fatigued with Bugs. Also, it came out in November, not summer.
Oh, yeah, shoot. I might have gotten it wrong because I know Ants came out in summer. I might have gotten those backwards. My bad. I thought I heard there was a little bit like. I'm sure you're right. The DreamWorks put Ants first, like they rushed it out and stuff like that. But I thought there was a little bit of a race. I thought because they did hear that Katzenberg was doing that. They're just like, hey, that's ours, kind of thing. So maybe I was wrong. Maybe I heard from the wrong people. So you're probably right.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 500 bits. For both of you, do you two have a favorite anime female character / male character, aka your waifu / husbandos? I have quite a few husbandos. Thank you very much. No. I like my edgy boys. So I love like the Sashomarus and the Sephiroths. Shara's novel because I'm a Gundam gal. Basically all of the Gundam Wing boys.
I'm trying to think. I'm going through like animes and so animes. I'm assuming we're talking about like shows, right?
Yeah.
And not really movies.
It could be a movie. Yeah. That's fine.
Okay.
Who's your waifu, Doug? We need to know who your waifu is.
That's what I want to. I'm like now thinking like anime movie. Like it's weird because I know that's like an appealing like style and everything, but I'm trying to think of one where I was just like, oh yeah, like that. Ooh, like that was a hot character kind of thing, and I'm not finding that many, surprisingly. You think I would.
If I had to choose a waifu, it would be Misato from Evangelion.
Man, yeah, I'm weirdly coming up kind of dry here. Okay, I don't know if this counts, but in the movie Only Yesterday, I kind of like the main character, the one that's having like the flashback and stuff like that. Here's the thing. I think because I've turned 40, I am looking at more people my age, and I think she's around that age there. Because I'm looking at all these animes, like whatever, Cowboy Bebop, with Faye and stuff like that. I'm like, it's like I think there is something to as you get older, like your taste does kind of change a little bit.
He's a man of culture now.
I guess.
Well, she just time for your waifus chat.
Well, no, but I mean that's she just kind of thinks about the past, and she's very pleasant and very nice and very simple, but kind of complex when she thinks back. And yeah, I don't know. She's cool. She's cool.
Great. Shouting Joker, thank you for the 500 bits. As much as I hate the Lion King remake, I will admit that I do like listening to that rendition of I Just Can't Wait to Be King. Also, did you guys watch Northwest's Daughter of Kim and Kanye's performance of the song? I think she definitely needs more singing lessons. Yeah, I don't think it's fair to make fun of the child, but just, yeah, that was rough.
I didn't hear that, and I barely remember much of that Lion King remake, so I believe you, but yeah, it's one thing I don't remember because I don't have to.
Alexander, thank you for the 500 bits. A lot of reviews are praising Catherine O'Hara in Beetlejuice 2. Michael Keaton himself said she was twice as funny as she was in the first movie. That has me even more excited.
I mean, she's always great. I mean, I can't even think of any times where she's really like missed. I was telling Heather, I was watching Schitt's Creek again, and
Yeah.
I think the first time, is it Dan Levy? Is that the name of the son? I always forget the actor's name, the son of Eugene Levy.
Oh, it might be Daniel. Yeah, Dan. Maybe?
I think the first time he kind of stole the spotlight. Stole the attention and everything because he was just so funny. But now watching it again, I mean, it's Catherine O'Hara's show. She is just so funny,
So
and
funny.
I love how she creates like not just these characters, but these very odd voices. I mean, I just cannot. Anytime she says like half the lines in that show, we just always have to repeat it because it just sounds so funny the way she says it. Like we have to hear it again. We have to verbalize it to hear it again. She's awesome.
Keith, thank you for the 500 bits. 2 animated movies released in 2007 that were both based on the exact same novel from 1884, complete with the same basic plot, characters, and even similar titles: Flatland, the film, and the movie. If you find them, I think it'd be cool to see you do a double review and give your take on which film was better.
I don't even think I've even heard of them. I'll try and check them out. I can't promise a review. Again, I don't know how many people would check them out, but I'll try to check them out.
Mahad, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, what's your favorite movie made in Canada? By the way, I love your work as the Nostalgia Critic. Thanks for the laughs.
Oh, thank you for watching. I mean, I don't know. Let's look up some Canadian movies, I guess.
Schitt's Creek is a show made in Canada.
I mean, yeah, I guess if we're counting that, a lot of these I don't know that I'm looking up here. Cube, I think I remember liking. I guess that's a Canadian movie. Yeah, I am really not finding much here that I'm familiar with. I'll still go with Schitt's Creek, I guess, even though it's a show.
Tristan, thank you for the $5 super chat. What's your favorite underrated Disney movie? Mine was Meet the Robinsons.
Rescuers Down Under. That always needs a lot more love, in my opinion.
Headshot, thank you for the $2 super chat. Crush Level, thank you for the $5 super chat. Will you ever review the Divergent trilogy? The first one was okay, but the other two were confusing, jumbled messes, especially the third one.
That's what I heard. I didn't even hear the first one was that great, but I just hear that they're a mess. I don't really have a passion for them. Aside from Hunger Games, I never really got into a lot of those young adult apocalyptic stories. So probably not. And I think it makes more sense maybe for someone who not only has a passion to talk about, but maybe has also read the books, because I'm pretty sure it's based on books.
It is.
I think that would make more sense, yeah.
Queen, thank you for the $5 super chat. I really want to know what your theory is to how RDJ comes back as Doctor Doom. Multiverse.
I mean that's what a lot of people are saying. Or I guess it'd be pretty lame if they're just like, no, he's just a different person. He's not he just happens to look like Tony Stark. I mean, I don't think they would do that, but weirder stuff has happened. So I guess we'll see.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Did you watch the ET 20th anniversary cut? They made edits and added 2 new scenes to the film.
No, for everything you just said there, I didn't like the edits and the taking out the guns and everything. And even like the new effects they were having looked really bad. I mean, just obviously CG. Yeah, I mean, everyone always talks about Lucas constantly changing stuff, but there was a time where Spielberg was doing it a little bit too. And I think he got such backlash for ET. He like quickly learned his lesson, said, okay, I'm not going to do that again, where Lucas, of course, just keeps doing it.
Dr. Gold, thank you for becoming a member over on YouTube. Appreciate that. Boy Ramp, thank you for the 500 bits. I know you haven't done many editorials recently. I was just wondering if you can do one about why to this day people still think all of animation is just for kids. There are obvious examples like South Park, Persepolis, and Triplets of Belleville, but as recently as the Oscars still make jokes about them being just for kids.
Maybe. I mean, there might be an idea in that. It's very easy to prove why it's not, but that is a good question. What is the argument why it is? And maybe because the ones that have lasted have been ones that try to hit everybody, like the Disney stuff and everything. But a lot of people do point out, back then those were also meant for adults. It's like, sure, but the entertainment was different back then. And I think more people are watching animation as kids, and animation is also brighter and clearer. Like kids can grasp it a lot easier. It's a lot more simple. You're literally taking the world around you, reducing it down to a line. I mean, it's like you can't get more simple than that. So maybe there's an idea there. Yeah, maybe I will do that. Maybe as like a Doug Rambles or something like that.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Godzilla 1998 made me fall asleep when I saw it for the first time.
It's pretty boring. We definitely couldn't get into it.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Was watching your early Angry Video Game Nerd versus video. Any future plans to work with AVGN?
Only if something like, you know, I don't want to say demands it. That sounds pretty pompous, but only if something kind of catches both our interests. That's really the only time we do it. Because I always say, there's milking it, and then there's milking it, buying the cow, chopping her up, and eating her as hamburger. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like we've just done everything we could do with the idea. So it really has to be something where it's like, okay, we can like see something kind of new.
Oh no, he froze. I thought he just ended his question early, but he's frozen today. He's frozen today. He'll be back again, chat. Don't worry. Don't worry. So how are you doing today, everyone? 3 times. Again, I know, right? To be fair, in Chicago, we had some big storms last night, and my internet was even on a struggle bus last night and part of early today. Hey, there he is. He's back.
Yeah. Man, am I crazy or have those been longer?
They've been a little bit longer than usual.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
So I think I finished the answer.
You pretty much did, yes.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, 100%. Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 500 bits. Okay, for December, would you do an NC review of the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation with the 35th anniversary this year? One of my favorite Christmas movies. And it's my dad's favorite Christmas movie. We quote it all the time.
It's the one I watch the most, but it's the one that like I can't go a year without watching it. Like I have to. But I'm not saying it's the best. I just have a nostalgic connection to it because like my grandma's house kind of looked like that house. It's in Chicago. It does remind me a little bit of my family. I did a video of things that you didn't know about like Christmas Vacation a long time ago. I don't know what much else I would add to it outside of that. But I do really like it. I mean, like I said, I watch every Christmas, but I'd have to think about something new I could add to it that somebody else couldn't, because I feel like I've kind of, said everything about it that I can.
Thank you for the 25 NOK through Super Chat. What's your favorite Deadpool movie?
Probably 3. I'm not even saying it is the best. It's just it's so much fun in not only what it is, but I think it gave a lot of fans, including me, just stuff I've always wanted to see. And I guess when I'm thinking back, I'm like, oh man, stuff I'm never going to forget from Deadpool. It is in that movie, even though all the criticisms about it are correct. Like structurally, it's probably not the best one, but I think it is the most memorable and just the most straightforward at saying, hey, this is pretty much just giving you what you want, and let's have fun with it, and I'm very okay with that.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In the Breaking Bad, what did you think of the plane crash scene? I think it was one of the best show moments.
I'm getting like flashes of it, but I'm forgetting where in the story it was like worked in. Like I seem to remember him like looking up, seeing like the plane crash, and then like seeing the rubble, the after effects of it and everything, but I'm blanking where it tied into the story. That's so funny. And so I guess that kind of answers it. Like visually, I remember it, but I don't remember the dramatic impact that I guess it had.
Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thoughts on Adam Sandler and Uncut Gems? While I don't think it's his best performance, it's up there in the top 3.
Yeah, I really liked it. I get why people don't. It is a little much, and I've definitely seen people just walk out of it and say, no, this is too much, this is way too, and I do get that, and at times it was a little bit for me. It's not like my favorite of his, but I do kind of respect the balls to just go that far with it, to be like that aggressively in your face with that editing and that style. And yeah, I thought he did a really good job in it.
We are going to have to pick up the pace just a little bit
gotcha.
Here. Joelle, thank you for the $2 super chat. JL, thank you for the 500 bits. How do you feel about John Cena retiring from WWE and going into acting full time?
I mean, I didn't even know he was still in wrestling. That's how much I follow it. I thought he just already was acting full time. So, yeah, I think it makes sense.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you ever heard the Weird Al Pokemon song, which is just him singing the names of Pokemon?
No,
I love that song. I used to know the
I
whole
guess I'll
thing by
check it out.
heart. Everybody Pokemon. JL, thank you for the 500 bits.
Yeah, okay, yes, I have heard that. I have heard that. That's right.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. That's difficult for me. E.T. or Jungle Book 1967.
Oh, in terms of like their favorite, is
I
that what?
think it might be what their favorite pickup like movie is. The one, I think.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, well, they're both good.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In 2022, there was an animated Christmas Carol movie. While the movie itself is just okay, I highly recommend you listen to two of the songs in it. Later Comes Never and I'll Be Gone. I'll Begin Again.
I heard it's okay too, but the visual style did look kind of neat, so I will check it out. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet.
Brady, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you watched The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford? And if so, what are your thoughts?
I've only seen that scene because of the Yogi Bear scene, but no, I haven't seen the movie.
Jace, thank you for the $5 super chat. Fanscription idea. Barry from B Movie and Princess Ada from A Bug's Life join forces to seek out their Seinfeld counterparts in this world. Thoughts?
It's kind of funny. There might be something there.
Cypher, thank you for the 500 bits. Dougie Doug, can't wait to see your review of movies. Hypnotize me.
Woo, hypnotized. I don't know how to answer that.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you think of Hank from Breaking Bad?
Hank's the CIA guy, right? Hold on.
It's been so long since I've seen it, I don't remember.
Bad. I mean, he like all of them, he's a good character. I just don't like watching him.
Excuse me. I had water go down the wrong pipe. Hold on.
Oh, I hate it when that happens.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. Can you do an NC on Wild Hogs 2007? Gosh darn it, Tuck.
Just talking. Can you do it, Wild Hogs? That'd be really cool. That'd be really good there, Sunny boy. Seriously, are you okay? Are you good?
Yeah, sorry. I muted the microphone so y'all didn't have to listen to me cough.
Okay.
So yeah, can you do an NC on Wild Hogs is what JL said. I don't know if you
I haven't seen it. Maybe I'll do a Disney December because I think it was a Disney film.
On a Joker, thank you for the 500 bits. I've been watching Brad's 1980s film series and loving them. He has a distinct way of speaking. Does he alter his voice for the cinema snob character?
Not much. He makes it like a hint whiny. Or not whiny, snobby. I mean, because he is a snob. But no, that's basically his voice.
Mm-hmm. The fifth Chris, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey Doug, was wondering what your thoughts are on House of the Dragon. Have you seen any of it, and how do you think it compares to Game of Thrones?
No, I did hear it's good. I think I kind of got burned out on Game of Thrones, so I'm like, I need a break for like several years, I feel like. So I get the feeling I'm only going to start watching it when I finally hear that, oh my God, did you see that episode moment?
Hyperdevil Fangirl Boner, thank you for the 500 bits. Did you know the writers of the show Rick and Morty were getting death threats, mainly because some of the writers are women and the idiot trolls believe that they're ruining, quote, a cool boys show with their girl cooties or whatever their issue with women is?
I mean, clearly Rick and Morty's just known for having just the worst writing. I mean, just terrible. I mean, no creativity. It's like some of the best comic writing of the past, like 20 years. I mean, I don't care what sex they are. Just keep it funny, and they've been doing that.
Corins, thank you for the $2 super chat. Will, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have either of you seen Marley and Me? If not, I dare you not to cry.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I really liked it. I like it's more about the couple than it is about the dog. That really surprised me, and it felt very real that way. No, and the ending is effective. Some of it's a little heavy-handed, just a touch, but I thought it still worked.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. What TV show cliffhanger did you get the most mad at?
Probably a toss-up between Duckman and then Sonic Sat AM. I was just like, I want to know what this is. I hate it. I couldn't. I wasn't going to get an answer.
Oy Ramp, thank you for the 500 bits. Saw your review of the Proud Family movie, and I'm surprised you never noticed the man behind that franchise was also responsible for the movie Bebe's Kids.
Oh my God, that makes so much sense. Because the style is very similar. I did not know that. Okay, that's really cool, because actually I did like the style of that movie, and I was hoping it would go somewhere. Obviously, that was a big hit. So, all right, cool.
Lady Houndoom, thank you for that 57-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome back. Appreciate that. Scapegoat, thank you for the 35 ZAR through Super Chat. Hello, Heather and Doug. If you two had to cast the Channel Awesome team as superheroes for their own movie, who would you guys cast in what roles?
That's a lot, man. I don't know. I just know I'd be Lex Luthor because I'm bald.
Fantastic. I'll be Kitty Pride.
Thank
WWIA, thank you for the $2 super chat. Dan Gaming, thank you for the $5 super chat. Still crazy that two Ant movies released just 6 weeks apart. Ants in October, A Bug's Life in November. Now that you've reviewed one, is the other on the way?
What? I thought Ants was earlier in that year. I thought it was like early summer. Man, that's crazy. I might. I did like them. I did a Dream Mortuary on it, but yeah, might be an idea.
Brady, thank you for the $5 super chat. You should review Friday the 13th for Nostalgia Ween this year.
I'm not going to be able to get past the YouTube gore content stuff. They hit, they take videos off pretty hard when there's even like a drop of blood.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Heather, in Firefly, who was your favorite character? Probably Jane. I love Jane. All right, and actually that was it. We were closer than I thought we were, so that's
nice.
good.
Okay, good. I can say they don't take the video off. They just don't make it official for all viewers, because I just realized I'm like, would that backfire if I got that wrong? Yeah, so they don't get rid of the video. They just, like demonetize it and stuff.
Right. All right, so I'm going to go back to some of these old super chats and also to some of the highlighted. Sorry, I am just doing some scrolls. Okay. Power Gamer says on Twitch, so I made the mistake of seeing Borderlands in theaters last weekend, and you're not going to believe this, but it was very, very, very bad.
Yeah, we'll probably do a review of that. There's actually quite a few movies I was looking at the list. I'm like, quite a few came out this year that I think we'll do in season.
Yeah. The Gaming Politician, thank you for the $2 super chat. Any chance you'll play Black Ops 6? I'll 1v1 you, bro.
I've never played it before. Maybe we usually try to put games up to a vote when we play them on Twitch, so maybe.
Nintenga on Twitch says, Disney December on Tiger Town, basically the predecessor to Angels in the Outfields. 'Twas the first ever Disney Channel movie.
Yeah, never heard of it. I'll look it up.
Christian, thank you for the £2 super chat. Hey, Doug. Hey, Heather. Wishing you both success. Well, that's sweet. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Sean49 Doctor over on Twitch says, hey, Doug, do you have a favorite Jack Palance, Palance film? And are you ever going to do an NC for the City Slickers films?
It's funny. I've heard both pronunciations of that. It's not until you pronounce them both that way I'm like, yeah, I guess I've heard both, haven't I? I mean, if I get technical, my favorite's Batman, but I don't know if it's like he has a starring role. We did watch City Slickers again, and we enjoyed it quite a bit. Like, it's a little corny, but I think that's part of the charm. And it would be fun to talk about them just to show how good one is and how terrible the sequel is. Just the title gives you an idea of like how bad it's gonna be.
JL, thank you for the 500 bits. If you could date Spider-Gwen, would you?
Is this another one of those trick questions? Like, isn't she like a teen or something like that? I see what you're trying to do. My tastes have changed. I'm not a teen anymore. It's all about 40-year-olds in animes thinking about the past and only yesterday. I don't. If I was a teen, I don't think she'd have me.
What up, JD? Thank you for the $5 super chat. Thoughts on horror movie remakes and what are your faves? Mine are the Crazies and Friday the 13th. Nightmare on Elm Street is meh.
Some of them you wouldn't even think are remakes. Like, people forget The Thing is a remake. That's a pretty amazing remake, honestly. So yeah, I think that's got to be it.
Harrison, thank you for the £5 super chat. Would you consider reviewing the first Babe movie?
If I did, it only to get to the second one, because the second one's really good and really messed up, and nobody ever believes me when I say that, but it's a really dark, twisted movie, surprisingly, but it's really, really well done. So, yeah, that'd probably be the first one's fine. It's a good movie, but yeah, it'd be just to get to that film.
Mahad, thank you for the $2 super chat. Doug, I love Nostalgia Critic. Thanks for the laughs.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for watching.
Majestic Demon, thank you for the 500 bits. If that's the case, your new catchphrase should be, hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic. I remember it even though this film came out this year and it's popular or bad enough to warrant a review, which kind of takes the nostalgia out of Nostalgia Critic, so you don't have to.
Just rolls right off the tongue.
Absolutely. Headshot, thank you for the $2 super chat. What was the inspiration for Chester A. Bum?
Um, I think when Cloverfield came out, I did just a fast like reenactment, just shaking the camera, going, "Oh my god, we're all gonna die!" And I just like the voice I did, and I'm just like, I want to do more of this voice. What is this character? He kind of sounds like a dude on the street. All right, well, what haven't I done? I wasn't doing uh present movie reviews, movies that are coming out that year. So I'm like, all right, I'll just do bum reviews.
Elite Gamer over on Twitch asks, "Hi Heather and Doug, thoughts on Superman documentary film coming out?" I haven't seen the trailer yet.
I haven't. It was about Christopher Reeve, right? Oh
Correct.
yeah, it's called Superman. Correct. I haven't seen the trailer, kind of because I'm like, it's just gonna make me sad. But I know it's supposed to be like an inspiring story too. So I'll whenever it comes out, I'll probably watch it. I just feel like the trailer's probably gonna get me too emotional, so I'm kind of avoiding it.
Joel, thank you for the $2 super chat. Why does it look like Vegas? I can't.
Why? Why do you look like Vegas? How can I get my voice more high pitched than you?
I don't know. I choked on water a minute ago, Doug.
That's fair. That's fair.
Corrins, thank you for the $2 super chat. Walt Disney's Mary Poppins turned 60 yesterday.
Whoa, that's weird.
That's wild.
That's crazy to think.
WWIA, thank you for the $2 super chat. Will you ever consider reviewing Woody Woodpecker 2?
I guess I did the first one. I don't think sequels usually do that great. So I don't know. Maybe I might look into it.
Zombo, thank you for the $2 super chat. Kingsman reviews upcoming?
I saw the first one and liked it. All right, it was pretty decent. And I hear the sequels are nothing. So I don't know. I just don't have a passion to talk about them, so probably not. Again, I don't think I'd be able to add that much new about them either.
Master Mario over on Twitch asks, will you ever do reviews of Mac and Me as well as James Cameron's Titanic?
Titanic I have on the list. We'll do at some point. I never did do Mac and Me, and maybe I should. It's another one of those where it's like, I didn't grow up with it. It's one of the few movies where my mom refused to let me see it because it was just too stupid. And every once in a while, there was one where she would just put her foot down. To be fair, she was usually right. So I did see it, and it is funny bad. I don't know how much I could add to it that like a lot of other people haven't added. So we'll see.
Fred Jan, over on YouTube wants to know what you think of Psych. Like any funny episodes or moments that stood out to you.
Yeah, my brother and his wife watched it a lot and kind of turned me onto it. And I don't love it. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's kind of inconsistent about it, but when it does work, it's really, really funny. And I think a lot of the characters are really great, particularly the William Shatner character and Tim Curry and Carrie Elways. I love those characters. I think the leads are pretty fun.
We just had a couple of super chats pop in, so we'll have to answer those quickly before we end here. Nicroman, thank you for the $10 super chat. If perchance there is a Sonic SatAM reboot, a modernized take of the show with characters coming back with new designs and modern take of the characters, what would you like to see?
Whatever that thing is that opened its eyes at the end. And I heard somebody was doing like some sort of crowdfunded thing to make like another episode or something like that. I don't know if it ever went through, but you might want to look that up if they are in fact still doing that.
Brady Wells, thank you for the $5 super chat. Card games on motorcycles.
Let's do it. Great. Oh, that's a reference, actually. I think that's kind of a reference.
Yeah, it is. Zombo, thank you for the $2 super chat. Still waiting for an NC review of The Menu.
I have it on the list for this year, but then another movie came up I kind of want to do, so we'll see. It'll either be this year or next year for Nostalgia Ween.
And last one, Tristan, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you ever done something awkward while talking to celebrities?
Oh, sure, I have. I mean, I don't think it's a regular thing. Hopefully it's not a regular thing, but I'm blanking on what. I'm sure I have, but we're near the end, so I'm blanking. I'll try to think of a better one for next time.
Okay, great. All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much, as usual, for joining us here today. We literally couldn't do this stream without you and the questions that you bring for Doug here. If you follow us over on Twitch, twitch.tv/channelawesome, we do have content there 5 days a week. Malcolm will be live tomorrow. Doug will be back on Friday playing more Arkham City. So come hang out with us over there. Otherwise, have a wonderful rest of the evening, and we will see you all later.
Bye-bye!
Bye!